Good morning. Today we are going to continue the story Jamaican Fragment written by A.L. Hendricks. I hope all of you have remembered the little boys. The elder of the two boys was a sturdy youngster, very dark, with a mat of coarse hair on his head and coal black eyes. He was definitely a strong little Jamaican. The other little fellow was smaller but also sturdy. He was white with hazel eyes and light brown hair. We already understood the white boy always gives commands to the black boy. The black boy obeys the white boy very faithfully. All of you please take the page number 65 in your textbook. Second paragraph. Whatever the white boy orders, the black boy did the same. The white boy orders him to pick up that stick, jump into the flowers and get me some water. Third paragraph. I was amazed. Here before my eyes, a white boy, for they were little more than babies, was imposing his will upon a little black boy. And the little black boy submitted. I puzzled within myself as I went down the road. Could it be that the little dark boy was the son of a servant in the home and therefore had to do the white boy's bidding? No, they were obviously dressed alike. The little dark boy was of equal class with his playmate. No, they were playmates. The little dark boy was a neighbor's child. I was sure of that. Then how was it that he obeyed so faithfully the white boy's orders? We can go through the glossary. Imposing means force someone to accept. Submitted means agree to do. Puzzled means confused. Bidding means attempt to win. As the author watches the game unfolding, he sees the white boy ordering the black boy to carry out certain tasks. Without realizing that it was part of the game, where one person plays the role of boss and the other the role of slave. The author is astonished by the fact that the black boy obeys the white boy even though he is older. He asks so many questions. Is he a servant's child or a playmate or a neighbor's child? He can't get the answers well. He always repeats the same question. Why this black boy obeys the white boy's order? We can move to the next paragraph. Was it that even as a boy he sensed that in his own country he would be at the white man's beck and call? Could be at his age divine a difference between himself and the white boy? And did the little white youngster, so young, such a baby, realize that he would grow to dominate the black man? Was there an indefinable quality in the white man that enabled his baby, smaller and younger than his playmate, to make him his slave? I could find no answer. I could not bring myself to believe such a thing, and yet, with my own eyes, I had seen a little dark boy take orders from a little white boy. A little white boy, obviously, his social equal and younger and smaller? Were we as a race really inferior? So inferior that even in our infancy we realized our deficiencies and accepted a position as the white man's servant. We can go through the glossary. Beck and call means ready to do something. Dominate means control. Infancy means early stage of development. Deficiencies means lack of something that is needed. The author, a black, feels sorry for his race as he thinks it is the sense of inferiority in the black boy that makes him obey the white boy. He wonders whether it is because the white boy has internalized ideas of white supremacy that he imposes his will on the black boy. The whole day he was immersed in thoughts on his people. He feels very bad when he sees the sight. He always thinks about the reason why the black boy obeys the white boy. He thinks that the white boy has accepted the norms or ideas of white supremacy. That is why the white boy is imposing his will on the black boy. I already told you the narrator was also Jamaican black man. He was puzzled within himself. Hundreds of questions came into his mind. The children were very small, really they were infants. At a very small age, how could they discriminate? Who were they? Was black boy a servant's son? Who was he? They wore same type of dress. Were they neighbors or playmates? Whoever might be. Were we as a race really inferior that even in our infancy we realized our deficiencies and accepted a position as the white man's servant? We can see that the narrator asked so many questions by himself. He is confused. Maybe the children are playmates or neighbors, or is the black boy a servant son of white boy? The author went on asking these questions to himself for a whole day. His faith in his people was shaken. He didn't find the boys in the afternoon. Again he thought deeply. The Jamaican's faith in his people got shaken as he struggles hard to find the reason for the black boy's lack of resistance. He asked so many questions relating that, but he doesn't get the answers. That's why his faith in his people was shaken. We can move to the last paragraph. The next morning, the boys were there again, and a man was standing at the gate watching them. I stopped and looked just to see what the white boy was making his little servant to do. To my utter astonishment, the little dark boy was striding imperiously up and down the lawn, while the white youngster walked abjectly behind him. Abjectly means without pride. The next morning, he found the boys and observed them. To his surprise, the dark boy was commanding and white boy did everything, there was a reversal of roles. The black boy was the master and the white boy the servant. The black boy ordered to get me a banana and peel it for me. We can see that the white boy obeyed the black boy very well. We can move to the second paragraph in page number 66. I saw it now. It was indeed a game I had played as a child. Each boy took it in turn every alternate day to be the boss, the other the slave. It had been great fun to me as a youngster. I smiled as I remembered. I looked at the man standing by the gate. He was a white man. I remembered what I had thought yesterday. He, no doubt, I thought to myself, was wondering if the black race is superior to the white. I laughed gently to myself. How silly grown-ups are, how clever we are, how wonderfully able we are to impute deep motives to childish actions. This man, I said to myself, will puzzle all day on whether the blacks will eventually rise and rule the world, because he thinks he sees a little black boy realizing at a tender age his superiority over the white. I will save him his puzzle. I will explain it to him. I went across to him. Then the narrator understood that was a game, and he remembered what he played in his childhood. He smiled within himself. At the moment, the author saw a white man standing at the doors and watching the boys play. The author thought that he would talk to the white man. The author tells him that he knows what the white man is thinking. The white man must be thinking that the black race would overpower the white race, as he sees the white boy very obedient. The author thinks that the white man must be thinking along these lines as the author was thinking the previous days. We have already noticed that the narrator became confused when he saw the white boy was dominating over the black boy. That's why when he saw a white man is watching the game of two little boys, the narrator felt that the white man has the same confusion. That's why he explains all these things. We can move to the next paragraph. The narrator recalled what he thought the previous day and night. The thought came to his mind that the black race is superior to white. How silly the grown-ups are to misinterpret a child's action. Then he would try to clarify and drive away all the doubts from his mind. The narrator said these to white men. Considering the misunderstanding he had about the boys, the narrator thought that adults often fail to understand the innocence in children. Due to over concern for children, they fail to see the goodness in them. Seeing the white boy obeying the black boy on the second day, he felt extremely relieved and realized that it is the grown-ups who infuse discrimination in the minds of the children. Yes, the adults are dangerously silly sometimes. That's why the narrator says how silly grown-ups are. We can move to the second last paragraph. The man was surprised at my outburst. He looked at me smiling. I know all about the game, he said. The boys are brothers, my sons. He pointed to a handsome brown woman on the veranda who had just come out to call in the children. That's my wife, he said. I smiled. My spirit laughed within me. This is Jamaica, I said in my heart. This is my country, my people. I looked at the white man. He smiled at me. We will miss the tram if we don't hurry, he said. Outburst means a sudden release of strong emotion. He was surprised to hear the outburst of the narrator and said that the two boys were brothers and his children, and introduced a brown woman as his wife. The narrator smiled and his soul laughed within him. He said to his heart about his country and his people's greatness, and he was left proud of both. The white man smiled at the narrator and went away to catch the train. The author's spirit rose and he is proud about the Jamaican people, as this was an instance of coexistence. Coexistence means to live in peace with each other. When he realizes the real story of a white man and his two children, he is very happy. He is very proud at that moment about his country and his people's greatness. Once again, we can go through the main points in the story. The narrator was walking to the tram line to board a tram car. On the way, he saw a white boy and a black boy playing an unusual game. The white was around 4 and the other probably 5. The game they played pained the narrator because the white boy was giving orders to the black boy, who obeyed him like a slave. The narrator felt bad. Jamaicans are black, but slavery was long abolished. How can it be possible that a white boy ordered his playmate? Why did the black boy obey him? That means slavery is still here in the minds of people, however small they are. The narrator felt sorry for his race. Next evening, the narrator happened to pass by the same way and saw the two boys there, as usual, playing another game. This time, the narrator could not believe what he saw. The black boy was giving orders and the white obeyed him. The narrator's gloom disappeared. He felt all right. It was just a game that children played. There was nothing about racism. There was a white man standing at the gate, watching the children play. The narrator thought that the white man was a passerby. He must be wondering about a black boy giving orders to a white narrator thought. He went to the man and explained that the children were playing a mere game and there was nothing regarding racism. The man smiled and informed that the two boys were his sons. Because he married a black Jamaican woman, their sons were black and white. I hope all of you enjoyed the beautiful story, Jamaican Fragment, written by A.L. Hendricks. We are going to discuss the textual questions. What conclusion does the narrator come to on seeing the boys first? On keenly observing them, he realizes that the white boy is dominant over the black one who submitted himself fully before the other. What was the narrator's faith and why did it get shaken? The Jamaican's faith in his people got shaken as he struggles hard to find the reason for the black boy's lack of resistance. The prejudice that almost every person suffers from, issues like color, race, caste and sex, is brought to light through this. Why was it hard for the narrator on the first day to believe that the two boys were playing? It was hard to believe that the two boys were playing a game because the game looked more like the white boy torturing the black boy. Jamaica was once a European colony and the narrator had memories of the white torturing the black. Seeing the white boy giving terrible orders and the black boy obeying him without complaint, the narrator thought that the little white boy was torturing the black boy. What similarities did the narrator notice about the two boys? Although the two boys were of two opposing colors, they were dressed in blue shirts and khaki pants. They wore no shoes and their feet were muddy. What made the narrator think that the black boy could be the son of a servant of the white boy's home? The little black boy dragged on quietly behind the white boy and did what he was told. And the little black boy submitted. This made him to think that the black boy must be a son of servant. What surprised the narrator as he walked by the same house the next morning. The next morning, the boys were there again playing another game. To his utter astonishment, the little dark boy was striding imperiously up and down the lawn, while the white youngster walked abjectly behind him. The black boy was ordering the white one to bring him a banana and the white obeyed him, brought the banana and peeled it and handed it over to the black boy. What reversal of roles does the narrator see the next day? To his astonishment, the Jamaican saw the boys playing after shifting their roles the next day. The black boy was giving orders which the white boy obeyed like a slave. Did the white man believe in racial supremacy of the white? What proof can you give to support your statement? No, the white man did not believe in white superiority. The boys were the sons of the white man who married a Jamaican black woman. On the contrary, he was a broad-minded man who brought up his children respecting everyone alike. The game he made his sons play was an example for that. By making them play the game, he was teaching them of the essential worth of respecting everyone. Why did the narrator explain the game to the white man? The narrator thought that the white man had been wondering at the game the boys played. He didn't know who the man was. All he thought was that the white man was feeling hurt at the sight of a black boy giving orders to a boy of his white race. To save him his puzzle, the narrator explained the game to the white man. What made the narrator's spirit laugh within? The narrator's spirit laughed at the beauty of unity in Jamaica on one side and at his folly of a series of misunderstanding. Folly means foolishness. All of you go through the text well. We will start a new chapter in our next class. Thank you.